Anderson had come here for the sound check earlier in the day, had tried out the microphones, looked out over the empty mall. But when she was driven back for the concert, the sight of the crowd took her breath away.
I had such a feeling that I had never had before. I just couldn't say anything. And I remember that there were policemen who came to the car and escorted me to the monument. We went into a little room behind there.
Well, she'd sung to 4,000, maybe 5,000. But this is 75,000 people. And they've been standing outside for hours.
Anderson would be surrounded on stage by 200 public
finale for next season.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I go to Aspen. I love to go to the Aspen Music Festival every summer.
Oh wow.
I spend like 2 or 3 weeks, and she's been there.
Oh.
For a while she did the opera. And the guy died. There was a guy that died suddenly. Who'd been there for 30 years that died during the festival.
Oh no.
It was really traumatic, yeah. She came in for
Ah. Ah. Do over. On Easter Sunday in 1939, as Nazi fascism surged in Europe, Marian Anderson stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and sang to over 75,000 people after having been denied the concert hall to which she was invited. Millions more listened on the radio, including a 10-year-old Martin Luther King.
Anderson had come here for the sound check earlier in the day, had tried out the microphones, looked out over the empty mall. But when she was driven back for the concert, the sight of the crowd took her breath away.
I had such a feeling that I had never had before. I just couldn't see anything. And I remember that there were policemen who came to the car and escorted me to the monument. We went into a little room behind there.
She'd sung to 4,000, maybe 5,000. But this is 75,000 people. And they've been standing outside for hours.
Anderson would be surrounded on stage by 200 public figures who had signed up as co-sponsors of the event, ranging from Supreme Court Justice Hugo Black to movie star Tallulah Bankhead.
Then came the signal that we were to go out. My heart was throbbing to the point that I could scarcely hear anything.
She steps down those stairs and she lifts her head up and she begins to look out on the sea of people. The diversity in that crowd was astonishing.
She looks very majestic, but she seems very small against this vast, vast white background of this hyper-symbolic space. The anticipation must have been beyond anything we could imagine.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're speaking to you from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial at the nation's capital, from which point the National Broadcasting Company brings you a song recited by the gifted Marian Anderson, considered by music critics throughout the world as possessing a most outstanding...
You have this fear of, oh my God, look at the people. And this irrational hope that's placed on her. And you could see from the films that when she closes her eyes, and takes that first deep breath,
The moment Miss Anderson started to sing, one newsman recounted, there descended upon the multitude a reverent silence.
Please rise in body or spirit as we sing, My Country, 'Tis of Thee.
Makako. Good morning, and aloha kakahiaka. Good morning as well. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Honolulu, where we strive to build a beloved community and to boldly, help me with this, grow compassion, justice, and joy. It is good to be here together, sharing in hearts and spirit. We are glad you are here. I'd like to extend a special greeting to visitors and newcomers this morning in the building or on Zoom with our Zoom family who joins us every Sunday. Welcome, everyone. For those in the sanctuary, after the service, just down the hallway in the gallery, please join us for light refreshments so we can talk story and get to know you better. My name is Gabe. My pronouns are he and him, and I have the honor of being your worship associate this morning with our worship leader, Mary McKay, from whom I am so grateful. We're looking forward to your message. We'd like to extend aloha to all of you for choosing our congregation to worship today. And at this time, please join me with the land of acknowledgement. The land beneath us, the hills above us, the seas around us are the ancient and traditional homeland of the Kanaka Maoli. With Aloha Aina, we express our love for this stolen land and our responsibility to care for the land and for this people indeed. As Mary lights the chalice, join me with the chalice lighting words. Well, maybe it's a solo. And the chalice lighter's word sounds like this. We light this chalice to kindle the light of compassion, the power of justice, and the overwhelming promise of joy. While seated, please join us in our mission song.
How's the volume on this? Yeah. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Please rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 159, This Is My Song, Finlandia. My Country, 'Tis of Thee by W.E.B. Du Bois. Of course, you have faced the dilemma. It is announced. They all smirk and rise. If they are ultra, they remove their hats and look ecstatic. Then they look at you. What shall you do? Noblesse oblige, you cannot be boorish or ungracious, and too, after all, it is your country, and you do love its ideals, if not all of its realities. Now then, I have thought of a way out. Arise, gracefully remove your hat and tilt your head, then sing as follows, powerfully and with deep unction. They'll hardly notice the little changes and their feelings, and your conscience will thus be saved. My country, 'tis of thee, late land of slavery, of thee I sing. Land where my father's pride slept, where my mother died, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. My native country, thee, land of the slave set free, thy fame I love. I love thy rocks and rills, and o'er thy hate, which chills my heart with purpose thrills to rise above. Let laments swell the breeze and ring from all the trees, sweet freedom's song. Let laggard tongues awake. Let all who hear partake. Let southern silence quake. The sound prolong. Our fathers, God, to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing. Soon may our land be bright with freedom's happy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King.
The Book of Life is a deep and ancient tradition. Throughout human history, communities of faith and understanding has come together to witness how their shared lives are experienced, marked, and remembered in the Book of Life. This community Book of Life is open to all who enters this space. It sits on the Book of Life altar table. In it, we invite you to share a joy, a sorrow, or an experience affecting you or the shared community. And if writing is not something you're comfortable with, then please, prior to the service, speak with the worship associate or the worship leader about what you wish to be shared. And folks, anytime during the service or during our sharing, if the Spirit moves you, we ask you to please light a candle of joy or sorrow on the Book of Life altar table. No shy. You are welcome here. If you need a compassionate person to listen to what's troubling your heart, please visit the website and contact our care team. Our care members are Martina Quit, she's here, aloha. Carla Allison, aloha Carla. Nancy Schiltz, and Lorraine Fay, aloha Lorraine. And if your needs require a grief, please contact Catherine Graham, who is not here with us this morning as she's home recuperating from a foot injury. And as I read the concerns listed in our Book of Life this morning, we have a message from Ramota. He says, no more war. And please contact your Congress people regarding Medicaid and Medicare. Very concerning issue for many of us, thousands of Americans. Along these concerns, there are undoubtedly concerns troubling your own private hearts. So as my hand passes over the congregation, you are invited to speak a word, a name, or a thought about your concerns that can be held here by all of us, or keep it close to your heart in silence. Some of the joys listed in our Book of Life. We got a happy birthday wish to Mary McKay. Her birthday's on July 5th. First. Oh, the reason why I said 5th, that's my birthday. July 1st, July 5th. Any other birthdays in July? We've got a lot of cancers in the house. Noe, let's hit a tune. Along these joys that enliven our community, There are surely joys that warm our own hearts as well. So as my hand passes over the congregation, you are invited to speak a word, a name, or a thought about that joy you're feeling as it might be shared with all of us. The bitterness and the sweetness, the concerns and the joys of life remind us to live these days together. The brave adventure and joy and the brave adventure and the holy understanding we share in this journey echoes today, as they always do, in the book of life and in the hearts we bring each to share here today. And may it always be so.
A Prayer for America by Tamara Laback. God of many names, you who has endowed us with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, let us remember this day that in this country there is no national religion, there is no superior race, there is no preferable gender or orientation. We gather holding a common value that the glory of this country rests first and foremost in its diversity. Out of many ideas, out of many beliefs, out of many views, out of many voices, out of many passions, out of many experiences, we are one. Help us, O God, to never forget that we need not be alike to live and love alike. We ask for forgiveness this day for our national and individual transgressions when we have chosen inaction or silence in the face of injustice and abuse of power, and our failure to claim our own. We ask for forgiveness for when we have not known our own neighbor, fed our hungry, or equipped our future generation with knowledge and love. We ask for a blessing on this nation according to our own faiths and forms, and pledge our voice in support of moving closer and closer to freedom. These and the prayers of our hearts, we pray now in the silence, in the names of those who have come before and those who are yet to be, in the names of all the helpers of humankind. Amen. We will now share a time of silent reflection. America the Beautiful was written by Catherine Lee Bates, a lifelong Unitarian and a prominent member of the Wellesley Hills Unitarian Church. She had an intimate same-sex relationship with the dean of Wellesley, who she lived with for 25 years until parted by death. Please rise in body or spirit to sing America the Beautiful.
Each month, we give to an organization needing and deserving our support. This month, we are supporting the Youth Outreach, also known as YO. And YO serves a safe haven for homeless youths, offering medical care, social services, and non-judgmental support, along with food, hot shower, and clothing. We have been supporting this wonderful group for over 20 years with our annual Undies Sunday Drive. And today is the last day, and I'll have more to share about that organization during our announcements. Because we support our congregation through pledges and rental income, we can be generous and give 100% of our pledges, funds collected today, to this organization. If you resonate with this mission, please share cash in the calabash or send a check to the church, noting share the plate, or use this QR code to donate via encrypted payment on the website. The offering will now be freely given and gratefully received. Your gifts help sustain the ministry of this church within these walls and without as we build a beloved community, and thank you for your generosity.
This is the poem that stands at the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty and was written by a Jewish woman who felt deeply about welcoming refugees and felt deeply about a peaceful approach and a message of hope and peace. And I in this day and time, those Jewish voices standing up for peace are extra meaningful. The new Colossus. Not like the brazen giant man of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land. Here, at our sea-washed sunset gates, shall stand a mighty woman with a torch whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beaconed hand glows worldwide welcome, her mild eyes command. The air-bridged harbor that twin cities flame. Keep ancient lands your storied pomp, cries she. With silent lips, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore, send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door.
Hawai'i pono'i, nana'i komo'i, kalane ale'i, ke ale'i, makua mani e, meha e, nā kawa e pale, me ka e. Hawai'i pono'i, nana'i nā ali'i, nā pua mo. Hawai'i pono'i e kalahui o ka hana nui e ui Pakua lani ka meha nā kawa pale me ka Mahalo.
Hawai'i Pono'i is the state song of Hawaii, but those of you who grew up here know it's a great deal more. Hawai'i Pono'i was the anthem of the Kingdom of Hawaii before the overthrow. The words were written in 1874 by King David Kalakaua and set to music by the royal bandmaster Henry Berger. It is one of several songs of the period that have become important symbols of Hawaiian resistance and resilience, in part due to the refusal of almost all members of the Royal Hawaiian Band to swear allegiance to the new provisional government. Love of country is a complicated thing, nowhere more so than in Hawaii. So what are we to do, those of us who love the dream of America, but believe that to love one's country is to acknowledge its wrongs? I grew up Unitarian, but I grew up Unitarian in Oklahoma in the 50s and 60s. Our history books had those special boxes around concepts like manifest destiny and pictures of Conestoga wagons trundling across the plains with brave pioneer men and women. We played cowboys and Indians, except everyone wanted to be Indians because they were just way more interesting. The really odd part about all this in hindsight is that a lot of the kids in that classroom with me were Cherokee, Choctaw, Creek, Osage, and Pawnee. Some of these kids descended from people who'd lived generations on that great heartland that was now America. Some were descendants of the Trail of Tears, which was the forced and brutal removal of deeply assimilated indigenous tribes from the southeastern United States. Some had ancestors who were enslaved. Some had grandparents who fled oppression and were the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And many of us had family in California and Oregon who had fled poverty and desperation during the Dust Bowl and Great Depression of the 1930s to become the despised migrants of their day. It's complicated. Part of me loves my country with the innocence of a fourth grader facing the flag and singing "My Country 'Tis of Thee." But that would be a shallow love, not worthy of either country or me. Like James Baldwin, it is exactly because I love America that I cannot be blind to our many failures. And it is exactly because I love America that I insist my country uphold the sacred promise of liberty and justice for all. Human beings are naturally affiliative. We make relationships easily. We form groups and forge alliances. It is both our superpower and our kryptonite. Families, peoples, religions, countries, all have the power to call forth the best and most selfless in our nature, and all can be misused to fuel the great evils of history, including American history. Irish lawyer John Philpot Curran warned, "The condition upon which God hath given liberty to man is eternal vigilance." For Frederick Douglass, who wrote often of eternal vigilance, this meant a sacred regard for the rights of all men, the rights of all people, we might add today. For as soon as we place ourselves above another, we fall easy prey to tyrants, priests, and kings, those who will use our love for kin and country to take power for themselves. It is no accident that the great sins of our nation pit one group against another. The tragic irony of America is that the very men who gave voice to an egalitarian vision that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and who founded a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, could not themselves recognize the fullness of all the people. In his powerful lament, Langston Hughes wrote, "Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great, strong land of love, where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me." And so has unfolded American history. An extraordinary experiment in self-rule that has inspired democracy around the world and drawn countless immigrants to our shores. Through almost 250 years, we have seen the halting but steady expansion of civil and human rights. And we have seen the willful destruction of indigenous peoples and cultures, a horrific civil war, anti-immigrant and racist violence, and a closeted colonialism like that we once decried. We created or greatly expanded civic institutions like free taxpayer-funded public education, public libraries, the national parks, and we're the only wealthy democracy in the world that fails to provide an adequate social safety net for our citizens or tolerates crippling economic inequality. And yet, still I love this complicated and deeply imperfect country. James Baldwin also said that America is the rare nation that is built on an idea rather than blood or soil. Our belonging as Americans isn't predetermined by ancestry, but secured through a commitment to certain universal principles: freedom, equality, and the radical notion that citizens create their own government rather than the other way around. I am stubbornly and insistently patriotic, just as I am religious and feminist, and I refuse to allow someone else to wrap themselves in righteousness and tell me that I am not. I reject the notion that there is only one right way to love my country, any more than there is a single American story or a true American or a time of past greatness that has slipped from our grasp. We can only change what we love. In the final lines of her poem, This Sacred Scene, Amanda Gorman asks, "Let us not just believe in an American dream, let us be worthy of it." Every great civil rights movement in America has insisted that we live up to the promise, deliver on the dream deferred. Fear can only divide us, hate only destroy. Love asks more of us and more of our country. When Marian Anderson stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and sang, "My Country 'Tis of Thee," she sang as a of her citizenship as a person of the United States, and she sang of her citizenship as a Black woman. A quarter century later, Martin Luther King stood on those same steps and spoke of the day when all of God's children will be able to sing. Let us ask more of ourselves and more of our country, and let us be worthy of the sacred promise of liberty and justice for all. Amen. Blessed be. For those who don't know Woody Guthrie, he was the champion of all who were downtrodden and oppressed. Born in Oklahoma, he wrote, "This land is your land" in the depths of the Great Depression and in reaction to God Bless America, which we will not be singing today. It is both a celebration of the nation's vast beauty and a condemnation of inequality. There are many versions and many verses, so forgive me if I've omitted your favorite. This is the version sung at President Obama's inaugural celebration in 2009. Please rise in body or spirit to sing "This Land Is Your Land" by Woody Guthrie.
Feel that spirit. You all sounded so wonderful. As Mary extinguished the chalice lighting, please join me in the closing words. The flame is extinguished, but not our hope for the future, our courage in the face of challenge, or the love we share with all the world.
Go out into the world in peace, have courage, hold on to what is good, return no person evil for evil, strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the suffering, honor all beings. Go and be blessed and be a blessing.
Before we sing the Song of Peace, I have a few announcements to make. And the first would be to thank all of our volunteers here at the church who make every Sunday what it is. Molly and her greeter volunteers, our hospitality team led by Marie and Leanne, who's in partnership with Jaron, who sets up the hospitality area for our hospitality hour. And I got a big favor to ask, and this comes from Marie and Jared as well. Marie and Leanne, every Sunday after church, have another community project that they do and help with. So they need our help with the final part of the kitchen, washing the dishes. Have you ever heard, I have dishwashing hands? Well, we welcome all the helpers each Sunday. I don't need all 50 of you at the sink. Maybe 1 or 2 volunteers each Sunday would really be appreciated by Leanne, Marie, and Jared as well. It's not Jared's job to be washing dishes as well. So thank you. And thank Deborah, where are you, for this wonderful arrangement on our altar, the piano, and our Book of Life altar as well. And a big hand, I'd like to recognize Stephanie also. Stephanie, please stand. I'd like people to see your smiling face. Stephanie is in charge of our columbarium. And if you haven't looked out that window lately, it's newly decorated with some fresh greens. They decided to put a watering system in there so the grass continue to flourish. Thank you, Stephanie. Your efforts are really appreciated. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And folks, our summer calendar is filled with lots of speakers and with topics that really affects our political climate. Next, our first Sunday on June 6th, we're inviting Senator Carl Rhodes to our sanctuary to speak on the subject of justice. And so, yeah, please come and support each and every one of them. Please watch your electronic newsletter for our daily Sundays coming up. On one of the Sundays, we have the search team who will be sharing and give you an update on their efforts and what's going on with the search committee. Yes, Juliet. Yes, correct. And so with Carl Rhodes, Juliet is preparing a 4th of July barbecue. So please drop her a line, tell if you're coming so we can prepare the amount of food that we'll prepare for that Sunday as well. Again, the youth outreach, today is our last Sunday for our Undies Drive. The box is sitting out there. If you forgot to make your last minute purchase, Long's Drug is open 24 hours. Make a run, make your last minute purchase, stop by the box, look at the list of items that Yo really needs to keep them furnished, thrived, and operating. Pardon? Oh yes, she's not a volunteer, but she's got hands and fingers, and we are going to miss her for July and August as Noi goes on a hiatus, but never a dull moment. She's teaching classes and she worked with students 24/7. So thank you, Noy, for leading us in some wonderful music. We look forward when you return back in September. So keep the smile, keep the spirit. We appreciate you as well. Thank you, Mike. And with that being said, please ask before taking the hands of those seated next to you as we join together in spirit and sing our song of peace, Hawai'i Aloha.